I'm Andrea Giles, and you're listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, episode number 104, Reimagining Discovery Day. Hello, and welcome to the Heal from Infidelity podcast, where courageous women learn not only to heal from their spouse's betrayal, but to become the boldest, truest, most decisive, and confident versions of themselves ever. If you know there's more for you than the life you're currently living, but don't quite know how to get there, you are in the right place. Stick around to learn how to create a life that will knock your own socks off. Is it possible? It is, and I'm here to show you how. I'm your host, Andrea Giles. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello, everybody. I am here recording this podcast on the Monday morning following Thanksgiving. I usually try to get this to my producer earlier, and this time there was just a lot going on. We had all 12 of our children, all 12, come home for Thanksgiving this year. One of them, my daughter who lives in New York, had to leave the morning of Thanksgiving to get back to work the day after, but she was there for a few days before Thanksgiving. So it was awesome. We have 12 children, 4 children-in-laws, and 3 grandchildren, and we had them all at our house. Anyway, today I'm home getting back into the swing of things, but my daughter is sick, my little baby girl, and she's not feeling well, but I wanted to get this out the door to you. So today, I want to talk about something important, but before I do, I want to say just that I had some moments of reflection in this last week as I looked at our huge blended family and shared with my huge blended family how proud I am of all of us for making it work. Like when we came together, my husband had 5 kids, I had 6, very different lives, living in different places, all kinds of different things going on. And to be all together, to have our adult children want to come together, want to be with each other, it's just such a gift. I'm so grateful. I had lots of moments of just awe at our family and how far we've come. Anyway, today I want to talk about reimagining Discovery Day. To start into this, I want to talk about a client of mine. A few weeks ago on a group call, one of my clients said that her 1-year Discovery Day anniversary was coming up and that she was nervous about it. And then she said something that was really profound. She said that she was nervous about it, but that she also knew that it was the start of a much more honest marriage and life, and that there was part of her that felt hopeful about that anniversary day. That Discovery Day was the start of something new and better for both of them. So I went away from that really thinking about what we make Discovery Day mean. And I just want to dive into all of that today and shed some light on what is possible around that day. Okay. So first of all, what is Discovery Day, or as many call it, D-Day? I never really talked about my own anniversary days that way. I remembered the days that I found things out, but it's kind of in the betrayal trauma, therapy and things like that, where they talk about D-Day. But a lot of my clients come and use that term. And so I'm going to use it too here. It just refers to Discovery Day, the day that you found out that your spouse or partner was being unfaithful in some way. Okay. That's what it means. For a lot of people, talking about that day fills them with dread. Talking about anniversaries of that day fills them with dread. And I want to give you some other context to put it in, okay? When I was single, I went to this retreat that was specifically for betrayal trauma surrounding sexual things, sexual kinds of betrayal. I went to this retreat. It was several days long, and one of the presenters there is pretty famous in the betrayal trauma space, Dr. Kevin Skinner. And he brought this monitor thing that he attached to you and to your heart. And he asked for a volunteer. And I was the volunteer. I said, sure, I'll do it. I raised my hand. And what he did is he attached it to my heart and I think to my finger and things like that. And he asked me to tell the group about the day that I learned about everything happening in my marriage, just to tell my story essentially. And you could see as I was talking that my heart rate went up. You could see that it was accelerating. You could see it on his little machine. So even though I had done a lot of personal work around my story, it still made my heart rate rise to talk about it. And that is the case for many people, that it kind of can bring them to this place that feels fearful or sad or panicky or things like that. He did comment that my heart rate was much lower than many other people, that it was slightly elevated. And then he went around the room and had other people volunteer, and theirs was much more elevated than mine. And I think that that's just because I had done a lot of work around it, around kind of retelling my story. But clearly there was still some anxiety around it. So one other piece here to keep in mind is that for many, many people, it's not a one and done thing. It's like there's the initial discovery, and then there are little mini discoveries following, or other big discoveries following. For many people, it's like a trickle where they get a little information, get a little more information. That's very, very common. That was most definitely my experience. It was never here, this is everything. It was a trickle. So for some of you, it may feel like there was the initial discovery, and then there were many more after that, right? Okay, so I want to ask you to take a minute and answer this question for yourself. Have you ever had a time in your life when something happened that seemed like the worst thing ever and ended up being a great blessing for you? You just didn't know it in the moment. Take a minute, maybe even pause this podcast and think about it. Once you identify an experience, I want you to answer for yourself why it ended up being something good for you. What came from it that you could not possibly imagine at the time? As I was preparing this episode, I was thinking about, what about me? What about times in my life that have turned out to be the best thing ever for me? One of them was when I moved right before my junior year of high school. I went to a high school my freshman and sophomore year that was really good. I had really great friends. I had made it into the school's like really elite choir that I loved. I'd made it in my sophomore year, and I had 2 more years left of it. And I loved it so much. And I knew I'd be moving to a place that did not have anything like that, a very small town. I moved from, it's not a huge town, but much bigger town in Oregon called Corvallis. I moved from Corvallis over to the Oregon coast to Waldport. Tiny town, okay? Tiny town. And I was sad. I struggled with it, but I went anyway, of course, with my parents, and it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life. I got really involved. I joined the cross-country team. I ended up my senior year being nominated as the cross-country team captain. I ended up being nominated after living there for a year to be the student body president. And I was the student body president my senior year. I ended up being a foreign exchange student to Germany, like all these different things that came because of this experience and being willing to jump into it, to really dive into it. Just so many experiences, so many friendships that I still to this day have, people that I still keep in touch with, really amazing, wonderful people. And I wouldn't have had any of that had I not gone, or if I went and had a bad attitude, right? And so I look back at that experience as one where I, in part, learned that I was a leader in that town. Like I learned that I have the ability to lead, that people pay attention to me, and that I have influence. I learned that in that tiny little town. And it was something that I really needed at that time. I kind of felt small at the other school, and I was able to really blossom and be more of myself in this new place. For you, it might be things like a loss of a job. It could be the death of a loved one. It could be divorce. It could be an estranged relationship with somebody. Any kind of thing that feels really hard that you don't want, right? Something that you didn't choose, that you don't want. When we are in those things, we can't easily see beyond them. It's hard to see. We just don't know quite what is available to us, right? Okay, so if you are like most people, back to infidelity, okay? If you're like most people, the day that you found out about the infidelity was a day that probably rocked your world, probably rocked your very foundation. Things just were not what you thought they were, right? You know very intimately how hard that day was for you, okay? So today I want to spend some time imagining what could be as you face the anniversaries of Discovery Day and other days that are associated with the infidelity. Now, in any situation, there are the facts of the situation. There's the event itself, the thing that happened. Okay, there's the facts. Then there is a meaning that we attach to the facts or to the event. And then outside of that is our awareness of the meaning. Okay. So initially there's the discovery. For many of you, like I said, a series of discoveries, not in one fell swoop, but trickled out over time. Then there is the initial meaning that we attach to it. For example, I can't recover from this. I will never be the same. Our marriage can never be the same. It can never be fixed. I can't be married to him. I must not be enough. I'll never trust him again. He just doesn't want me. Okay? All the meaning. Now, when we stop there, and that does not go checked, it goes unchecked, we stay in those meanings and they become like a new event. In our minds, we make them the facts. This thing happened, therefore this meaning, and this meaning now becomes our truth in our mind. We believe the meaning just as much as we believe the actual facts of the situation. I'm asking you to push past that. What if there is meaning that is unexplored because you're stuck in the meaning of it being this awful thing that you can never come back from? What if you're stuck in this meaning that has been unexplored by your awareness of it, that you're just believing it as fact? Okay. So what I want to do now is give you 5 alternative things to think about when it comes to D-Day or Discovery Day. These are just options. Some of them you can kick out if you don't like them. You may roll your eyes at me a little bit. I can take it. It's fine. But I want you to explore. I want you to just think about, if I could just detach a little bit from the meaning that I've attached to it, what else could be possible? That's what I'm asking you to do. Okay, so here are some ideas to explore. Number 1, it was the day that we got real honest. This is one meaning that we can attach to our personal discovery day. Finally came clean. No more hiding. It can feel like a relief. We might have known that things were not great. We might have known that there were things that felt off, but we weren't exactly sure why. But now we know why. And now we're having more honest conversations than we ever were before. Okay? The person that was unfaithful can be in a more humble, vulnerable place than ever before. You might see them more clearly than you ever have before, and you might see yourself more clearly than you ever have. Okay? We're both holding up a mirror to each other. You may feel like you can share things that you have held back from this new, more vulnerable and real place. Okay, you're not pretending anymore. You're like, the only way through this is if we're honest. So this is the day, it can be the anniversary of the day that we got really honest, that we really, really told the truth, maybe for the first time in our marriage, like really stopped saying what we think we need to say to be polite, etc., and just really told the truth. Number 2 is the anniversary of the day the playing field got leveled. Okay, if you, my friends, are playing small in any way, if you are watering down what you want, if you are feeling resentful or have felt resentful because you don't think you can have what you need in your marriage, this is the anniversary of the day that you decided you were no longer going to hold back. You are no longer allowing them, your partner, to be in a one-up position while you take the one down. It is either we are both equals here or it doesn't happen at all. You can use this time to really own your own power. You may have more courage because of the infidelity. You may have more courage to speak up and to say, the only way this is happening is if it looks like this, to set your standard high, to fight for it, okay? To stop playing small. You may feel more courageous to say things, to like really bring sometimes long-standing things to the table and say, no more. If this is going to move forward at all, if there's a shot here at all, this is what it needs to look like. Number 3, the day you both woke up. It takes big wake-up calls sometimes to really see ourselves. to see who we have been in our marriages, where we have played small, where we have ignored or minimized problems, where we have ignored our own wants or spent our marriage putting everyone else first. There are nuggets of wisdom to learn through infidelity that may not have been able to be learned in any other way. It strips us down to really take it all in, to really see it all. It's an opportunity to wake up to what it is like to be married to us, not just to them, but what's it like to be married to me. I want to make a point here, and this goes for all of the things that I'm saying. Even if your partner is not on board with you in building, even if your partner has chosen to leave, even if you are right now not sure if you want to stay, maybe you already know that you don't. This is still 100% available to you. All of these steps, all of these opportunities are still available to you. You still get to rewrite the story in a way that serves you, okay? It is still necessary to really take stock of what happened in the marriage, whether you stay in it or not. To take stock of what went wrong, to take stock of what went right. That's when we can learn the lessons that we need to learn and release it and move on. We don't have to keep beating the same drum. We don't have to keep rehashing and going back. We can learn and let it go, whether we stay in it or not. Okay. So whether you're staying or not, it can be the anniversary of the day you woke up and really were more alive and awake in your life and in your marriage and in yourself than you ever have been. Number 4, the beginning of marriage 2.0. Starting over, building intentionally, learning new skills together, putting to bed some things that are no longer serving you, letting them go. Now, for those of you who are sure that you are leaving your marriages, whether by choice or by someone else's choice, you also get to create a new life for yourself, and that might include marriage as well, if that's what you want. I will say that for most people that I work with, it is something they want. They want an opportunity to do it again. And this could be the beginning of stepping you on your way to a marriage that you really want to be in and that you're really delighted to be in. And you can be learning the skills and healing, how to take care of yourself, how to be resourceful, all of these things because of the things that you learned from the infidelity. Okay. Number 5. Number 5 is probably my favorite. We call D-Day Discovery Day, right? What if it's the day you started the greatest self-discovery of your life? The discovery of you. What if D-Day set you on a path to get you to know yourself, like to really know who you are in a way that nothing else could have? Sometimes it is the hardest crosses that we bear, the most painful things that we endure that kind of break us down enough or hurt enough to really go, there's no way I can fake it through this. I have to figure this out. Or we learn some of the patterns that we keep doing that we recognize we cannot keep doing, that we cannot take those with us, that they're not serving us. What if it's a blessing, my friends? What if there are things to learn about yourself that will set you free for the rest of your life, or that will guide you into a much better life than you had before, a much better marriage, whether with the same person or someone else? What if this will lead you to a more honest and true relationship with yourself, where you kind of cut the bull crap, where you cut the people pleasing, where you cut trying to be all the things to all the people because you can see that it never worked. It never did work. Where you get to be you in all your glory, and where you don't water yourself down anymore. Where when you see things that feel off, that you call them out. And when you honor yourself in a way that you've never before. What if it's the anniversary of the greatest discovery of your life, which is yourself, really knowing you? I love that. I will say for me, that is really what it has been for me. I don't know that I could have learned the things that I've needed to learn in any other way. I don't know if anything would have woken me up enough, shaken me up enough to go, I have to figure this out. I can't keep doing this. I have to let go of this, right? There's no shortcut through this. Okay, it all has to be felt. It has to be dealt with. What if Discovery Day can be an opportunity to see your own strengths, to see what you're made of, to take inventory of ourselves and what we really, really want, what we have, what we want to bring with us, and what we really want to create, to be grounded, like more deeply grounded than ever in who we are and who we want to become, with new skill sets, new relationships, and truly stepping into being the very best version of ourselves. So, my friends, while you may dread the anniversary of D-Day, I challenge you to practice reimagining what it could be. What if you could have both? In one hand, a day to feel the feelings that come up for you as you remember how hard that initial D-Day was. And in the other hand, a day to be grateful or to be appreciative, or a day to just acknowledge the things that have opened up to you because of that day. The changes, the growth, the experiences that you've had personally in really stepping into yourself, really knowing yourself in a way that you didn't before. What if you could have both? So, my friends, as you look at upcoming days, whether it be Discovery Day or something else that you feel a lot of dread around, I want you to try to reimagine it. What else could it be? What else could it be besides just awful or dreadful or all the things that you feel leading up to it? What else could it be? All right, my friends, that is what I have for you today. I look forward to seeing you next time. And if you are interested in working with me, right now, my current Noah 90 group is underway. It's awesome. My one-on-one spots are currently full. I have a wait list. If you're interested in getting on my wait list, you can just email me at andrea@andreagiles.com, or you can get on my wait list for the next round of Noah 90 right on my Work With Me tab in my web page, andreagiles.com. All right, my friends, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to the Heal from Infidelity podcast. If you would like to be kept in the know about upcoming free classes, new podcast episodes, and other ways of working with me, go subscribe to my weekly email. You can subscribe at andreagiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. Again, it's andreagiles.com/lies-about-infidelity/. I will see you next time.